a lot of time, PE teachers, we always hope that our students can learn to play with different people. Sometimes we will mix the groupings, but then when they are in mixed groupings, right, then we will see them not happy with one another. Then there's a lot of breakdown in the game, there's a lot of conflict. So a lot of time we will rather, okay lah, just put them in the same group. But when I see your lesson, right, I always notice that, wow, every lesson, they are in different groups. Every lesson, every group have different people. And they were happy playing among themselves. How do you do it?
First of all, it's not one stroke, and they are able to be in that state to be happy. Most time happy Sometimes they are okay, only okay, and I think that was something I started right from the beginning. I guide them with using this tagline, play with anyone. And I will constantly use that every lesson. Play with anyone, because we are class, we have to go into teams. Sometimes the whole class isn't there, but it doesn't matter. So when I say play with anyone, I also help to describe to them what does it mean. Playing with anyone means that you play with people that you like, and sometimes people that you may not like also. Because we are a class, we are supposed to play together. So I think there was a lot of constant reminders, and I also will nudge them. If let's say I feel that they are not playing well together because of certain conflict, then I have to bring them back to explain to them that, oh no, it's a necessary thing that we need to play with anybody, people that we like and people that we don't like. Because we are a class.
When I follow your class, right, you really feel like you're very intentional about it. From day one, you have been doing something. The activity you plan is very intentional. Like for example, you set constraint, you will give them a problem to solve, that kind of thing. Then you will ask them to discuss about it, how to solve the problem about it. And then when you see them not happy with one another, you will gather them and you will talk to them. And I could see you very intentional throughout the whole lesson. And I felt it's like there's this vision that you have in the lesson. And you're just
moving towards that.
Moving towards that.
Every lesson. So it is, again, it's not one stroke. It's not a one stroke thing. I never believe that is to change a child's character, to change a child's mindset. So it has to be consistent. It has to be in a routine. And I also think it has to be simple. So that's why a tagline, play with anyone. And I've spent every lesson to explain how it looks like to them. I think they sort of getting comfortable with it. They're able to understand or to visualize that play with anyone means like that. It means that maybe shaking hands after the game, even though you lost the game, and then you show grace in that. Or when you are put into the team with people that you might not really like, you don't show that you are angry or you are upset. You say, okay, never mind, because this is what we're supposed to do as a class.
Just now you were saying you keep it simple. So it triggered me to think about one thing, like sometimes because we are so overwhelmed by learning, right? Like there's too many new rules. 1 minute you are learning this game, then next minute you play another game, and then there's a lot of new rules because you are overwhelmed by it. Because we have this cognitive overload. That's why we tend to already get frustrated by the game. And then we are playing with somebody we are not used to. So when things don't go well, we blame our friends. And it's really not easy to just, after the game, shake hands, because it can be very stressful for that students to play with different people, to play a new game. So when I notice your lessons, right, you really try to keep it very simple. When you want to teach them a concept, you make it very simple. You try not to cognitive overload them. And then you also try to make sure that every lesson, right, the games are quite similar to the next one.
Yes, intentional, because I think in my mind is that I have two things to do. One is that they have to play. They have to play together as a class. And then also the technical part where the learning about the sport. So I have always two things in my mind. So I think when we talk about layering and all that, I think this is what occurs like in my head where, oh, if I want to layer it means that actually I'm trying to achieve two things at the same time. Yeah. And I know doing two things at the same time is it might be an overload for me also, or even doing more than two things at the same time. That is for myself. I also want to keep it simple. So I use myself as an example and say, okay, would a child be, actually first, can I be able to do it?
Yeah, always
then
put outside in the student's shoe.
Yeah, and then I realized that yeah, okay, this I think maybe I also very simple lah. Then I do better when things are simple. Then my students are okay with that, and I of course I will look out whether they are disengaged or not lah. If it's too simple, then how? I guess that's where my experience had to come in and say, then I can try to stretch you a little bit, but not for the whole class, maybe just for a small group.
I can see like you have done 1,000 things just to make the student want to work with their friends. But I think we should not overload people who are listening to this video. So let's talk more about this in the next video.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you.